Gingerbread Palette from Too Faced. I have some things to say. I actually shot 3 looks over 3 different days and loaded those into my computer very quickly. I use iMovie and an external drive, and my computer said I don't have any startup space. So I shut everything down, and on a hunch, I opened the iMovie on my computer, not on my X drive, and sure enough I had like 3 movies in there eating up space. Some of them were completed and some of them weren't, so I just deleted them because everything's supposed to be on my X drive. Then I put in my X drive and I found that none of this gingerbread footage was there, and I don't know why, but all of that footage is gone. But I'm coming to you with some conclusions. I'm the Hooded Lid, and welcome to my channel. If you want to see what I have to say, keep watching. Right. When I look at these, I see a variety of colors that are related but not the same. I've got some paprika and some pinks, a darker, richer kind of raspberry pinks, a dusty kind of pink. I would call this a coral, and this is like a Cheeto kind of color. And, you know, this is a blue, dark blue, it's a couple of browns. It looks like it's a nice variety, and these are colors I really, really love. In fact, 2 of my favorite palettes, the Safari palette and the Tropic palette, have these kinds of juxtapositions, like the mauvey or more interesting pinks and some more paprika-y colors, and I use them all the time. Which begs the question, why did I buy this? Because I'm obviously attracted to those colors. However, when I swatched, that's not what I got. So I'm going to do some swatching now. I'm not going to name the colors, but you know, I'll be starting here. Obviously should not have swatched right there. This is the first row. And when I look at this, I don't know if I'm nuts or what. I'm seeing some differentiation, not between these 2 so much, honestly, but between this and this. Not a huge one. Let's keep on going. Okay, second row. To me, this just looks like variations of the first row. It's like, why'd you do the first row twice? I didn't. And here's the third row. So check this out. Oh, I made it hard for myself doing it that way. So first row, second row, third row. To me, oh hey, what am I doing this? To me, am I crazy? I mean, don't answer that. And this blue looks black. So I'm flummoxed. I'm going to do 2 eyes, 2 different colors, and we're going to see what happens. I'm going to go in with In a Pinch. I have not powdered, and I do have some, whoops, these are pigmented, don't get me wrong. They are pigmented. I have some foundation on, but I did not powder it. I mean, that could just be my look. And just take a smaller brush and work on the edges. I haven't decided what I'm going to blend this out with, so I'm just going to do this for now. Soft and Sweet on the lid. Soft and Sweet is a pink color. A little under. So far these are the 2 colors. This one is the orangey, this one is the pink, but on my eyes, I really think they look pretty much the same. Of course, nothing sticks right here on my lid very well, so I'm just going to kind of blend these together right here. But, I don't know, you guys. I'm going to call this lid done. It would be fun with like a pop liner, like a blue, or, I don't know, it would be fun, but I don't have one. So that's two colors from the first row that should be the most different from each other, to me. This one and this one. And on the eye, I don't think they look all that different. I don't think too many people would look at this and say there's two colors going on. Let's do the same thing. I wasn't planning on doing it row by row, but I wasn't planning anything, honestly. You know what? Let's deepen the outer corner with this bright color down here. This teeny little brush so I can really get it. These are pigmented and they're soft, but they're not dusty, and I have no complaints. My complaints are the colors just seem to be too close to each other. And it's not just my lid in this case, or oftentimes it is. This doesn't skip on my hood, which is great. But that's three colors. Does it really look like three colors? I don't know. I don't think so. So that color was Hot Tamale, by the way, and Butterscotch. Going back into this one just to kind of blend it. But these really don't need blending. They really lie down nicely. Extra spicy. And I'm just going to blend in between these two a little bit. See how nicely these they really don't need a lot of blending. Spicy Man, so darken out the outer edge and a little bit into the crease. I just want to blend this right here where my fatty pad is. So they kind of look like I'm doing the same thing. Well, I think I failed at that, but and just run a little bit of color underneath the eye. Boom. So I look at this. This is just an example. I could do this all day long, but it hurts my lids to take off my makeup all the time. To me, I think most people who would look me straight in the face, these are kind of the pinks, and this is the oranges, really wouldn't see much of a difference. Pink, orange. I'm going to move in so you can get a sense of what I'm looking at. Hi. Pinks, orange. Pinks, orange. Now maybe you can see it with my eyes closed. I'm unable to look in the mirror with my eyes closed personally, but when my eyes are open, I really don't think there's a lot of difference, a lot of contrast, which begs the question, why have a palette full of a bunch of colors when they all kind of read the same? But I will say this, they are a pleasure to put on. They don't even need blending. They're soft, but they are not powdery, so there's no fallout at all. But my palette isn't messy either. You know how some palettes you're constantly blowing the dust away? Not with this. It's not dusty. It's soft. It doesn't need blending. A+ for that. It's just the colors, I swear, pretty much look the same. And this is what I did, right? This, and this. If you saw those in person, you would say, they're not the same. Then I did this, and this. I don't know. You know, I think one way that you might want to look at it is, this. If you look better with pinker undertones, this is like a hot, deep pink. And the difference between this and this is kind of imperceivable, except for how it relates to your skin tone. If you look better with the warmer skin tones, same look, the same, they look so much the same in color. But if your skin really pulls up those colors and responds to it, then this would be the one for you. But the question is, why do both? Because in the same way, if I'm good in pinks and not in oranges, then I don't want any of the oranges. Or if I'm good in oranges but not in pinks, I don't want the pinks. Personally, I think I can do both pinks and oranges, so it's not a problem. But because the look is the same and they look like the same color, is it kind of redundant and silly? This is my rabbit hole, you guys. Okay, and now back to my outro. Next day, I'm back and I'm going to give it one more try. I'm not giving up on this. I feel like, I don't know if it's user error or what, but I was thinking maybe the problem is all of these tones are around the same. Like there's some light tones that are obviously, to me, brow bone tones. They're not necessarily lid tones. And then everything else is pretty much mid. There's only a couple of really darks, except really everything is so saturated, it's almost like everything is dark. Even though it doesn't look like it when you look at this palette. There are palettes you look at and you go, oh, well, that's too dark for me. No, this isn't one of them. But they're very, very saturated. I'm still trying to figure it out, but I want to give it one more try with another look. So this time I'm going to go with a color that I perceive to be light on the lid, right here. Butterscotch. Look how pigmented that is. But no fallout at all. You have to give it points for that. In a pinch, really small brush. See, look how close these colors look. There's In a Pinch and Butterscotch. Now I'm going to go in with an opposite color. I'm going to deepen up with a pink, Hot Tamale. I'm going to blend this out with plenty of dough. I haven't been doing that because these really don't need blending out. They just work so well on the lid. And there's just no harsh edges, and also this color looked very, very light to me, but you know what? It's not looking that light now. That's interesting. And I'm just going to blend this area right here. And sometimes the finger looks really well. There's just extra crepiness here that needs to be addressed. I think it's very pretty, but it's kind of amorphous. Does it look any different than the looks I did yesterday? Eyes closed, eyes open, and this is the color story for this eye. I do love these colors. I just don't think I'm making them work very well. I am going to really, really try for opposites on this eye. Extra spicy. I'm kind of going to try a halo. Halos are not super flattering on me, but that's not what it's about. I'm trying to see if I can get contrast with these colors. Cookie call. And remember, this lid is far more troublesome than the other one. It's a different kind of shape for me, not bringing it out too much. I'm going to put a little bit of concealer in the center. This is something I did for the first time the other day, not on camera, just to keep some shimmer in place. And just because I'm hooded, it's hard for shadows not to migrate, so I just want to help it out a little bit. Now I'm tempted to go in with butterscotch because it seems so different than spicy, right? They're like opposites. That seems like there should be enough between them, and just kind of working that in. And I swear, now it's looking. I'm going to pull you in. I'm going to go in with the same brush. I cleaned it off and go back with the hot tamale. I'm just going to blend out this darker color now because that is pretty harsh. I'm going to go in with Vanilla Waffle just because, well, this one would be better, but I've already done that one. So this is the color story on this eye, this is the color story on this eye. When I look at my hand, these colors just seem so incredibly similar. I will say, I did swatch these, of course, when I was in Sephora, and they read true to what they look like in the pan. But I don't know, is it the light in this room? Is it the color of the walls? Or am I insane? They all kind of look the same to me. But I will say this. These are soft and they're not very powdery. They're a little powdery. They are well pigmented and they're very, very easy to blend. The other several times I wore this, I didn't even do a final blend up here in the transition area because they just sat so well. They applied so nicely. And considering that I'm crepey, that's really, really saying something. But I look in this mirror and I see this eye has more depth to it than this eye, but they don't look very different in tone. The application that I use, the techniques are completely different and the colors are completely different, and yet I kind of feel like I've got the same look. I'll pull you out. So that's going to conclude my observations, a couple of different applications, and my conclusions, really. There's much to like about this palette, but there's much to frustrate me about this palette. And all I can say is, if the pigmentation is interesting to you, if the colors are interesting to you, if you might have crepey lids and find things don't apply very well, this is great. If you are very talented at figuring out how to put together good looks in a palette, then this is for you. I am the person who looks at colors like this and thinks, so pretty, I have to have this. And then I get home and I'm like, I'm not sure really what to do with this. I am that person. It's absolutely, absolutely true. We have to allow for a little bit of user error. I did try my best to get colors that seemed opposite of each other, as you saw. And these are my results. And go with God, you know, take this information and go shopping. If you're looking at getting this for the sale, now you have a little more information, I hope. I hope it was helpful to you. And I hope you come back again. And in the meantime, I'm wishing you a great day. Bye.